We're up to issue number 5 of The Penguin by Tom King, and I got the variant cover this time. And it's a cool one. I like it. There's the penguin surrounded by some emperor penguins. Looks like he's in the dark with some light streaming in a window or something. So in the last issue, he recruited his ex-wife, who apparently is as crafty and ruthless, and maybe even more so than him. Seems a little unlikely, but I think this is the final addition to his gang. And so we're introduced to this character, and this is kind of, again, I don't avoid spoilers, so just know that. This is kind of a thing that Tom King often does, just has a character chatting. And so in this case, he's talking to someone across the table, and we only see him. And so when the word balloon is coming out of his mouth, that's him talking. And then when it's not, that means it's whoever he's sitting with. And it's I don't think they're trying to hide it. I don't think Tom King's trying to necessarily hide it. It's obvious pretty soon that he's talking to Oswald Cobblepot, even though he doesn't say it there. I mean, he mentions his name, but the Penguin. So this guy is Black Spider, and for anyone who doesn't know, which would include me, Black Spider is a vigilante created in the 1970s who hates drug users, and he's one of Batman's villains. So I don't recall ever seeing him in a comic, maybe as just an ancillary character, but I do remember, I think it was in the 1980s, there was a anniversary issue of Batman, and it included kind of a fold out of all of his villains, and there was this villain in there, Black Spider, who I didn't know who he was, but I do remember seeing him. So like I said, he's a vigilante. He's out here killing drug smugglers or drug dealers. They're dressed in Riddler costumes, but apparently they're not associated with the Riddler. They're just trying to play off people's fear of the Riddler, and he's supposed to keep one alive as a message because he's been sent to kill them. In this case, it's not a job on his own, but he just hates drug dealers so much. He hates anyone with an addiction. And so we get a lot of talk, and this is what Tom King, I would say, does best, which is take a obscure character and make you interested in him. And it is interesting. I think he does a good job here. He goes back, this is I think it's the children of Falcone, who is a mob boss who I believe is dead at this point, and they're not happy that he didn't leave someone alive. And so the brother just kind of beats him up, and I get the impression that if he wanted to, he could kill these two people, but he needs them. And it gets a little confusing, but he wants Venom, the drug that Bane used to use. And so we get, I guess, a flashback. And so he's Black Spider, whatever his name is. He's in bed with this fellow, so he's obviously gay. And he's back here talking again, back in this Italian restaurant. And so he's out again, sent on another mission, and I guess kind of messes up again, shooting the guy, and the guy falls in the river, and he's like, oh, damn. And then Batman shows up. Now, I had speculated that Batman might never appear in this series, but there he is, and there's Black Spider. And so Black Spider is like, the hell with this. I am not going back to Arkham. Tries to pull out a gun, but Batman just... Well, this is a little weird. Looks like Batman's hitting him with a right, but his head is turning the opposite direction. So a little weird art there. And then Black Spider just dives into Gotham Bay and swims underwater. And apparently Batman has no interest in following him, or can't catch him. So he does get away. and more dialogue. And then we see, and I guess this must be a flashback. This is where I get a little confused because he's going back to his partner, and Daniel is not there. Instead, it's two penguins. So that implies that the penguins took him. But he's working for the children of Falcone. So it's a little strange. And I guess this is why he's taking that abuse, is because he wants Daniel back. And the woman is just beating him with, I guess, a cane or something. And she's really angry. And she says, "Do you think I'm my father? Some cooing cuck trapped by one bat boy after another? I am not my father." So these are very angry people. And so there's Daniel, and he's locked up, and they say if he continues to do another assignment, then Daniel will live a few more days. So I don't know. Seems like not an equitable trade-off. A few more days. And then finally we do see that it's Oswald Cobblepot. And I don't understand some of this dialogue, because he's talking to the penguin, and he talks about how he has kids. Your kids don't know, do they, what you really are? No, I suppose they do not. So I don't know. Penguins, I guess he's got kids. He's talking about the kids. I don't want to kill them. I don't want to take them down slowly. I don't want the bat to have them. And I sure as bleep don't want to walk away. Your kids, they got to suffer in a way no man or woman has ever before, to feel what... Okay, so maybe these two are his kids? I mean, he's already got his ex-wife, and why would they... Maybe they're not Falcones. And when she says, "I'm not my..." All right, I'm a little confused here as to who these... I read this comic twice, but I'm a little confused as to who these people are. But he seems like he's threatening the penguin's children, and the penguin doesn't seem to care. And he says, and there's the help back there. "Well... look at that help. How thrilling. I have my muscle, my goons, my consigliere, and now I have my spy." So I do believe we are ready for Gotham City. So I assume we're going to move into the next stage of this series. I said in the last issue that I was contemplating not buying it anymore, and I'm still on the fence. Tom King is very good at characterization. He does his plots move very slowly and methodically, and I tend to like that. But in this case, it's getting a little bit tiresome, a little tedious. I think it's superior to most other comic book writers out there, but I'm just kind of losing interest in it. And so hopefully we're gonna get a little bit more excitement or something. I have a feeling that, because he's introducing all these characters, he spent a whole issue on the help and finding out who he is, and then he just kind of gets shoved to the background. And I have a feeling Black Spider's going to have the same thing happen, and the other characters. So we'll see. I will get issue 6 and find out what his plan is with his new gang. So anyway, that's Penguin number 5 by Tom King.